inside Gulliver Athletics. I'm Athletic Director Childress. In studio with us today is our swimming program head coach, Childress. Chris, how are you doing?
Doing great today.
Do you want to introduce your student athletes?
I would love to. We have next to me Hernandez. She's a junior. She's a captain for our team. And then we have senior Phillip Meira, who's also the captain of our swim team.
Welcome to you both. This is an exciting time for you. Obviously, we're getting towards the end of the season. We've had a really, really good season so far. Recap the season for us.
So far this season, I think we have made drastic improvements. We've had a lot of lifetime best times in season, which doesn't usually happen a lot. So that says a lot about the hard work that these guys are putting in. The thing about swimming is it requires a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication, a lot of management and time. So you have to make sure that you're balancing, your schoolwork and swimming. And so I think these guys have really proven that, and the results show in the classroom and in the pool.
Big meet today, packed the pool. We're going to set an attendance record. What does that mean to you as a coach to know that obviously your seniors are going to go out on a high note today, and we have a lot of students, fans, and community out to see it?
It means a lot. These kids put in so much work. They're up in the mornings, 3 mornings a week, 5 a.m. So it means a lot. It's appreciated because of the work that they put in and everything that they've been doing thus far has been great. We've had a lot of success, and it's a great opportunity for them to show off their skills.
Student athletes, Chloe, you want to comment? Have both of you comment on that?
Yeah, we're really excited for the meet today. It'll be interesting to see our peers at school come show out at the meet.
I can agree with Chloe on that. As well as Coach Chris, we do work hard a lot. I see the sports out there too and for morning workouts, and I think they can all appreciate our hard work that we put in for this season. So.
You're a senior captain. This is your last go-around with all of this. What does that mean to you to be in that position?
It's rather bittersweet. I've had a great time. I'm looking forward to having my moment to shine as a senior as well, but also for everyone in the grades below me, I think I've set a good example as team captain, and hope that they've looked forward to seeing me in this position as well.
Elaborate on being a captain, because everyone obviously knows what that means, but they don't know the intricacies that goes along with that from a day-to-day basis at the pool.
Being a team captain for our varsity program, I want to say it's been an experience, taught me a lot of leadership, time management skills for most. We recently had to share one of the responsibilities with coaches of making the lineup for today's meet, and that was a hectic experience. Taught me a lot of time management, communication skills as well, making sure I get to everyone on the team, not just the people I know, so that was a good experience too.
Chloe, speaking of leadership, you're part of our Student Athlete Leadership Council. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, as a part of the council, we've really been working on creating a bonding community within the school and all the sports, like every single individual one, including swimming today, which is a big part of the event that's happening.
Coach, you've had a lot of success as a coach. What do you take into each season in terms of preparation and getting your teams to peak at the end of the season?
We always sit them down at the beginning of the season. We show them what the plan is, and we explain to them that win or lose, it doesn't matter. As long as you're putting in 100% effort and you're trusting the process that we're doing every day, the results will take care of themselves. So we put a lot of emphasis on the athlete taking ownership of their sport and taking ownership of their goals and making practices. And so I think that's really helped them grow and mature a lot. And then in regards to prepping for the season, we've got our captains here that have been learning a lot, throughout the years from previous captains. So it's been helpful to have that tradition kind of passed down going forward.
So I'm going to put everyone on the spot here. Coach, I'm going to start with you. You've been here a few years now. What's your favorite moment in swimming thus far?
My favorite moment was in 2016 when both the men and women teams won the state championship for the first time in school history for the guys, and that was our second time for the girls. I think that one meant the most to me just because it was my first year, and then but I can't really rank either one of them. They're all equally as special. That one happened to be the best because we finished first on both sides. Last year and the previous year on the guys' side we were runner-up. But we swam great. We did lifetime best. So that's really, as a coach, that's all we really care about is our athletes getting better. So.
I think definitely seeing all of our hard work pay off at the end of the season, each season too. I feel like every moment that you have at your last meet of the season is a special one.
I'm going to have to go back with Coach Chris and listen for 2016 States. I was actually a transfer to Gulliver my sophomore year. So seeing 2016 States champion, I went to go watch. I wasn't part of Gulliver community yet. But seeing Coach Chris and the boys, all the smiles and laughs go around, and Coach Chris leading everyone like that, I think it was a great experience. It was one of the reasons I came to be a part of the Gulliver community.
Awesome. Coach, leading into districts, what are the few keys you have to do for the team to get them ready to go?
Biggest thing is just mental preparation, making sure that we're staying on top of, our sleep patterns. That obviously affects our progression in the water and our performances in the water. We've got to make sure they're eating right, staying hydrated. So we do stay on them a lot about preparation, about month out, and eating right. In regards to training, we're still training through the meet. We're not taking any breaks. In fact, we're doing a practice right before we train or swim the meet today. So we don't take any days off. We want to make sure that we're ready to go for the end of the season. So the last 3 weeks, we'll start tapering down and give the kids some rest. And after that, I think all their work and everything the results will kind of do the talking.
Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
And the rest of the way.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute.
Coaches are often thought to be the heart of their teams. They're blamed for the losses and praised for the wins. But just by looking at our undefeated record, you can't tell that Coach Sims has the ability to bring any group of people together.
I started coaching in 2002. I actually started coaching at Southwest High School, okay? From there I went to be a case manager and a GED instructor at a youth opportunity center in the inner city. And I called myself a coach then. And then I came here and I became an assistant coach.
That opportunity you had as a case manager in the inner city, has that fostered your love for giving children opportunities?
100%. Sometimes people lose their way. And so I felt like I was empowered to make sure that I helped them find the right path and get back on the right path.
Coaches are often seen as aggressive, almost intimidating people on the fields, but Coach Sims is much more than that.
Well, it's interesting. I always love words and the ability to express words through, through a poem. Okay, so I also love gardening. You wouldn't know that, right? So I love planting seeds and watching them grow, okay? And I feel like that's what people are as well, especially children.
Coach Sims' passion for words helps him choose the right ones to connect with his players and lead them to a winning season. You guys are off to a great start with your season with an undefeated 5-0 record. What do you think is fueling this amazing season?
I believe that it's the connection that we have between each other and all of the time that we put in, and all of the hard work and competition that exists on the field.
A great coach, teacher, and parent, Coach Sims is a valuable part of our community on and off the field. I'm Lucas Figueroa for RaiderVision, reporting.
Welcome back to Inside Gulliver Athletics. Now in studio, we have our cross-country program, head coach David Suarez. Coach, you want to introduce your student athletes?
Yes, of course. Here we have Natalie, Verela, senior, and Fernando, Notari, senior also.
Coach, this is your first year, and you're doing an outstanding job with our program. Talk about what made you want to get into coaching, and specifically here at Gulliver.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like you said, I'm new to coaching, basically. I always had kind of an interest for it. It was always in the back of my mind, something that I had gone through. I'm still running collegiately now, so I'm still around the sport a lot, and it's always been in my mind thinking, maybe one day I'll try it out. And so my previous high school coach was the head coach here, and I became his assistant last year and took over as the head coach this year.
So you talk about taking over as a head coach this year. What were some of the keys and some of the things you really wanted to emphasize this year, being it's your first year?
Mm-hmm. So a big thing about me is I have really good attention to detail. So I make sure that the kids are paying attention to all the little things that they have to do throughout their lives, whether that be hydrating, eating good, sleeping good, making sure we're stretching, taking care of our bodies and all that stuff. So I really like to emphasize that the kids pay a lot of attention to the details, the little things.
little things. Natalie, you've had a lot of success, obviously, in track, two-time state champion, being obviously recruited on a high level. What has cross-country season been like for you?
It's been really good. It's been my best season since freshman year. I've been training a lot harder. I've been working a lot harder. I've been regulating my sleeping patterns more, and it's been paying off.
So when you talk about regulating sleeping patterns and training harder, what would you say is the most important thing in terms of training when it comes to cross-country versus track?
Cross country, you really have to put on more mileage on your running. Track is more speed oriented. I've just been running a lot more mileage this year and really just pushing through the pain.
Okay. Now, you've had some, obviously, a great season. Talk about your season thus far.
So for me and also the entire boys team as a whole, we've been improving a lot since last year. We lost a lot of seniors. Last year, they made up a good part of our team. But now the people who were sophomores last year, and including myself, who was a junior last year, we're all stepping up to it. We're improving a lot. As Natalie said, we've been also working like a lot more on our sleeping patterns, eating well. So I think our season will be good.
Coach, you have a big meet coming up at Florida State. You've had a really good season so far. What are you expecting for this upcoming meet and also the rest of the way?
Yeah, so I mean, basically for this point in the season, we're still training through most meets, so we're not really focusing too much on the meets because our big goal is once the championship series, once we get to districts, region, and state. So basically all these meets are preparation for those meets. We like to go into them with a fresh mind and make sure that we're attacking the meets and being ready for them. But we know at the end of the day, it's preparing us and it's practice for the big meets.
So if I was coming out for cross country today, me myself going out there and saying, hey, what tips would you give me to be successful in the sport?
Well, I'd say that you really got to be committed. My big two rules are that you got to be here every day and you got to give me 100% effort. So as long as the kids are following those rules, I know that they're going to get the results that they need, because at the end of the day, it's just the work that you put in is what you're going to get out of it.
Well, if I was coming out, we need EMS too. Let me ask you this. You've only been around, obviously, you've been around the program for a little while. This is your first year as a head coach. Do you have a favorite moment? And I'm going to ask the student athletes that question as well, so you guys be prepared for that. But what's your favorite moment so far? It could be cross country or track.
Right. Man, I mean, I guess one of my favorite moments would have to be when Natalie won the state championship, not in the 800, but in the mile.
Okay.
I remember I was across the track, and I had told her before the race, that the game plan was to sit around in second to fourth place because it was a race between them. And if the win is in mind, you can go for it. And as soon as that last lap came into play, she started taking off, and she caught up to the girl in the lead and won it. And I was ecstatic. And I ran straight over to the finish line, and I saw her crying, and it was like a super emotional moment. But it was like all the hard work throughout the season finally paid off.
I'm gonna get to Natalie in 1 second, but sitting in second place, explain that for laymen like myself.
Mm-hmm.
I know obviously what being in second place means, but
right.
In cross country terms, what does that mean?
Right. So for that mile in particular, going into the last lap, she had about like a 50 to 70 meter gap between her and first place that she had to make up. And so for her to make up that ground, it means that she had to run that last lap a lot faster than the girl in first place had to, and which is what she did.
Nice. Natalie?
One of my favorite moments actually is seeing the team build up over time, because when I got here, there wasn't really a big team, and just seeing the team improve and get bigger over the years has really made me happy, enjoy the sport a lot more.
Nice.
My favorite moment, I think, has to be the meet that we went to last year at UF. It was a really big meet for track, and we just had like a lot of fun as a team. It was a longer meet. We stayed there for like 4 days, right? I enjoyed that a lot.
Wow. So what made that so enjoyable?
Just being with the team, being with the coaches. We had a lot of fun together. I think that was it mainly. And also racing was fun, but that was the biggest thing.
So the camaraderie with the team and stuff.
Yes.
Coach, what are some of the keys to the final weeks of the season for you guys to be successful in those championship series, as you mentioned earlier?
Right. So for the big thing this season is us trying to get to the district and region meet healthy. Right. So we've had to deal with a couple injuries this year early in the season, which we're managing well, I think. But it's all about just getting to the meet healthy. So far, we haven't really been able to put an A team out for neither the guys or the girls yet. So we're kind of like the underdogs right now, but I know when it comes to districts, we're going to come out and guns blazing.
Well, good luck the rest of the way, and we'll definitely be watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. Inside the studio today is Mekayla Frazier. Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
A student athlete in softball and soccer.
Yes, sir.
So you had a great experience this past summer with a leadership opportunity that many people never get. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so this past summer, I was inducted to be a part of the Semper Fidelis group, which is the Marines, and we were selected out of, I think, 900 students in the U.S., and only 90 students made it, student athletes. And we were fortunate enough to go to Washington, D.C. to be a part of a 3-day Marine-style camp, and it was absolutely amazing. And learning from the Marines and everybody else, because everybody has their own story on how they've made it through just their life so far. So it was absolutely amazing just to learn so much from everyone. So
I know you mentioned a few things there, but elaborate a little bit more. What really made it a great experience? I did see you look like you were wrestling. That was really unique. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I would never think that I would wrestle, but we were able to see like a different aspect of sports. Like I'd never think that I would wrestle, but it was more of like to see how people are able to learn so fast, because like we all were just thrown into like a wrestling ring almost, and that was really cool. And we were also able to do like a Marine style workout, which was obviously very, very tough, but it's absolutely amazing to see what these men and women are able to do on like a daily basis. And I definitely have like a higher level of respect for every single type of Marine and just like military personnel in general. So
you've had a fabulous career here, obviously in the classroom, outstanding on the softball diamond, as well as soccer. You were named All-American last year in softball. Talk about your experience here from a softball standpoint.
So from a softball standpoint, I've been on the team since 6th grade. I'm a senior now, so over the years, I've been able to see every type of player you can imagine. Throughout the years, I've definitely seen a difference in the type of players, leaders, and I've been able to learn from each and every one of them. And I think that's really special, and that's important also. And I wish that like other people are able to have that opportunity handed to them. But I'm lucky enough to say that I have, and it's definitely made me the player that I am, to be honest.
What does it mean to you to be named Gatorade Player of the Year and also an All-American?
So those two accomplishments, there's nothing like it, to be honest. Like, I'm proud within myself, and like a lot of people don't know my accomplishments because I don't go around saying what I've done, what I haven't done. But to me, my friends, family, like it just means so much, because like from what I went through when I was younger to now, like you can see the levels that I've gone up to. So that's pretty amazing, I think.
Yeah, and then the journey continues this year. Obviously, you're looking to have a great senior year. Before that, you're going to sign to play somewhere at a university for softball. You want to talk about your recruiting process?
Yeah, so my recruiting process has been pretty long for softball, for example. Softball starts recruiting, for me at least, in 7th grade. So I've been looking at colleges since 7th grade. So I've seen D3, D2, D1 schools, JUCO, and you just have to find the right college for you. And I fortunately have. I committed this last year, but I just announced that I committed to a D1 school in North Carolina called Elon University to play softball for the next 4 years. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I've had so many people supporting me throughout the years, and I'm more than lucky to have had such a strong support system along the way. So
Elon's lucky to have you, because I'm still getting calls from the ACC teams looking to recruit you, but congratulations on your decision there. You're also a member of our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. You want to talk about that experience?
Yeah, so that's been pretty amazing because I've never had something like that so far. And like being in Gulliver since 2nd grade, but playing sports since 6th grade, I've been able to see the type of people that show out to the games. And like this year, it's just something different when it comes to athletics and like supporting athletics. People are just so much more involved. And like I think that's somewhat stemming from this leadership, the student athlete leadership group. And we're all just coming up with different ideas. There's someone from each sport inside the group. And we're all just looking to support one another. And I think that's really important when it comes to a community, to be honest. So
I'm going to ask you a question to ask everyone. What is your favorite memory? It could be softball or soccer thus far.
Wow. My favorite memory, I think it was 7th grade when I went to states. We unfortunately did not win states, but to be able to go to something like that and to be surrounded by like the best of the best. And when I was so young, looking at these girls that were just amazing in my eyes, it was like it was something else, to be honest. But I'm really lucky to have had that experience and hopefully another run this year in soccer or softball. So very excited for that.
Well, congratulations on the outstanding career here at Gulliver.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to watching you this year.
Thank you.
That's it for Inside Gulliver Athletics this week. We'll be back again next week.